In the quiet village of Eldervale, nestled between lush mountains, there was the Whispering Wood. A dense and ancient forest, shrouded in mysteries and macabre legends. The inhabitants avoided its winding paths, whispering stories of shadowy creatures that lurked among the trees, and of ghostly whispers that echoed in the night. On a moonless night, a young man named Tomas, driven by curiosity and rebellion, decided to explore the Whispering Woods. Ignoring the warnings of his elders, he entered the forest, armed only with a flashlight and the determination to uncover its secrets. With each step, the forest became denser, the flashlight light weakened, and the whispers intensified. Tomas felt chills run down his spine, but he continued forward, fascinated by the mystery that surrounded him. Suddenly, a sharp, metallic sound cut through the silence. Tomas came across a clearing, where an ancient ritual seemed to have been carried out. Strange symbols were drawn on the ground, and in the center, a circle of stones held a peculiar object, an obsidian sphere, black as night and emitting a mysterious energy. Tomas, overcome by curiosity, touched the sphere. Immediately, the whispers turned into agonized screams, and the surrounding trees twitched as if they were alive. Grotesque shadows moved among the leaves, and Tomas found himself surrounded by terrible creatures, with red eyes that glowed in the darkness. Terrified, he tried to flee, but the creatures pursued him, their screams echoing through the forest. Tomas tripped over treacherous roots and fell, the obsidian sphere rolling away. At that moment, a deafening silence took over the forest. He stood up, shaky and wounded, and watched the creatures dissipate into the darkness. The obsidian sphere lay motionless on the ground, without the energy it previously emanated. Tomas picked it up carefully, feeling a supernatural weight in his hands. When he left the Whispering Woods, Tomas was a different man. His eyes carried the weight of what he had witnessed, and the whispers of the forest still echoed in his mind. He was never the same, and the story of his adventure became a legend in Eldervale, a warning that no one should ever dare disturb the peace of the Whispering Wood. Tormented by memories of the night in the Whispering Woods, Tomas isolated himself in his home. The obsidian sphere, now kept in a locked wooden box, emanated a sinister aura that deeply disturbed him. Sleepless nights were haunted by vivid nightmares, the creatures, the whispers, the forest twisting in a macabre dance. Tomas felt his sanity slipping away, and the sphere seemed to be the source of his anguish. In a moment of desperation, he decides to get rid of the sphere. He takes her to the top of the highest mountain, with the intention of throwing her into the abyss. The cold wind whipped his face as he approached the edge, the sphere pulsing in his hands like a black heart. A whisper, almost imperceptible, whispers in his ear, "Don't let me go." Tomas freezes. The whisper intensifies, filled with deep anguish. He looks at the sphere, and his eyes widen in horror. The surface of the obsidian contorts, forming a human face, pale and agonized. "Help me." The face begs, its voice echoing in Tomas' mind. In an instant, he understands. The sphere was not an evil object, but rather a trapped soul, condemned to wander eternally. Guilt and fear turn to compassion. Tomas decides to help the soul find peace. He researches ancient exorcism rituals, seeking to free the spirit trapped in the sphere. Night after night, he recites words of power, lighting candles and incense, while the sphere shakes and vibrates in his hands. On a full moon night, Tomas performs the final ritual. The sphere illuminates with intense light, and the ghost's face becomes clear. A tear runs down the translucent face, and a final whisper echoes through the air, "Thank you." The sphere shatters into 1,000 pieces, releasing the soul that finally finds peace. Tomas, exhausted and relieved, observes the obsidian fragments scattered across the floor. The Whispering Woods are finally silent. The experience transforms Tomas. He becomes a guardian of the forest, protecting its secrets and helping those who have lost their way. The story of his bravery and compassion becomes a legend in Eldervale, inspiring new generations to respect the mysteries of nature and never forget the power of redemption. Years pass after Tomas's transformative experience in the Whispering Woods. The village of Eldervale finds peace, believing that the soul trapped in the sphere has finally found rest. But beneath the serene surface, an ancient darkness stirs. Subtle whispers begin to be heard in the forest, gradually increasing in volume and intensity. Shadowy figures are seen lurking among the trees, and wild animals flee in terror. An omen of evil hangs over Eldervale, and Tomas, now a wise elder, knows that the peace he has won with so much sacrifice is in danger. When investigating the events, Tomas finds traces of an ancient ritual, similar to the one he used to free the soul from the sphere. But this time, the energy emanated is perverse and corrupting. An evil presence has taken hold in the Whispering Woods, seeking to break free and dominate the world. Tomas, guided by his wisdom and experience, brings together a group of courageous young people, willing to face the darkness that threatens Eldervale. Among them is Anna, a young woman with mystical abilities inherited from her ancestors, and Gabriel, a skilled and fearless hunter. Together, they embark on a dangerous journey through the Whispering Woods, facing terrifying creatures, treacherous traps, and the very limits of fear. Guided by Tomas, they learn to use their talents and work as a team to overcome the challenges that await them. With each step, the evil presence grows stronger, its whispers turning into screams of hatred and fury. The forest rides in agony, the trees transform into monsters, and the sky darkens with the arrival of eternal night. In an epic confrontation, Tomas and his companions come face to face with the source of darkness, a monstrous, ancient being, imprisoned for eons in the Whispering Woods. The battle is titanic, with bolts of mystical energy colliding with the creature's bestial fury. Anna, using her ancestral powers, manages to open a dimensional portal, banishing the monster to a dark reality from which it can never return. The forest, freed from the curse, returns to being a place of peace and serenity. Tomas, exhausted and injured, but victorious, knows that the fight never ends. Darkness will always exist, but bravery, compassion and unity are powerful weapons that can overcome it. The story of Tomas and his companions becomes an eternal legend in Eldervale, a symbol of hope and that light will always triumph over darkness.